You're on the Bible Forum. I'm Warren Sprouse. We're here every Sunday night from 8 to 10 p.m. You need to join us live. Folks are in the chat room just waiting for you to show up so that you can share your ideas. I want to talk to you about the GAVI Alliance. It's an organization, the GAVI Alliance, largely funded by Bill and Melinda Gates, along with Rockefeller Foundations. And there's some allied governments and vaccine people that are involved as well. And according to their website, this organization is principally concerned with improving what they say is, quote, the health markets for vaccines and other immunization products, end of quote, rather than the health of individuals. Now, GAVI stands for Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunization. And MasterCard's GAVI partnership is directly linked to its World Beyond Cash efforts, which mainly bolsters its business model, a model that's been long dependent on a reduction in the use of physical cash. Reducing the use of cash is becoming increasingly necessary, in part because cash is impossible to track. However, if you use centralized digital currency, the ruling class has complete control over what you can spend. They know what you spend, and they can turn it on and turn it off. The GAVI program, first launched in late 2018, will eventually see something called trust stamps, which is a digital identity platform integrated into the GAVI MasterCard Wellness Pass. Wellness Pass is a digital vaccination record and identity system that is also linked to MasterCard's click-to-pay, click-to-play system. And it's all powered by its artificial intelligence and machine learning technology, something called new data, NU data. Are you getting the picture? MasterCard describes itself as committed to promoting, quote, centralized record keeping of childhood immunization, end of quote, and also as a leader toward a, quote, world beyond cash. Its partnership with GAVI marks the linking of a biometric digital identity system, vaccination records, and a payment system, all into one single cohesive platform. Now, financially, the effort, launched nearly 2 years ago, has been funded by a $3.8 million GAVI donor funds situation, in addition to a matched donation of the same amount by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. In early June, GAVI reported that MasterCard's Wellness Pass program would be adapted in response to the coronavirus pandemic. Around a month later, MasterCard announced that Trust Stamp's biometric identity platform would be integrated into Wellness Pass, as Trust Stamp's system is capable of providing biometric identity in areas of the world lacking internet access or cellular connectivity, and also does not require knowledge of an individual's legal name or identity in order to function. Did you get all that? What they're saying is anyone, anywhere, regardless of who they are, will be known by this program. The wellness program involving GAVI, MasterCard, Trust Stamp will soon be launched in West Africa, coupled with the COVID-19 vaccination program as soon as the vaccine becomes available. And what's significant about all this is that Wellness Pass, as an initiative, links these dual-use digital solutions to cashless payment solutions, something that could become mandated because the World Health Organization and others have identified anything other than touchless, cashless methods of payment as potential modes for contagion, since this pandemic was first declared earlier this year. Makes you happy that our president got out of that organization, doesn't it? Well, the next president's going to put us right back into it. Did you understand all that's going on here? It's all tied to the same thing: identification, control. And this pandemic is the excuse, the motivation, the intense motivation that is allowing them to roll it all out. They've been storing this up for several years, and they're not coming to save you. This voluntary testing for COVID can very easily be translated into participation in a voluntary biometric ID program, which translates into buying and selling only with this ID. Think food, medicine, gas, rent, mortgages, and a whole lot more. And all this comes as a necessary and harmless advancement. It'll only be later that you learn the implications of what you've done. Is this the now infamous biblical mark of the beast? No. But trust me when I tell you it's a forerunner. A forerunner that will make it reasonable and easy to migrate into what will be a deadly program. The Bible teaches us very clearly that taking the mark of the beast means you go to hell. Why? Because it will be clear in those days that this man of sin who is running the show is really the devil incarnate. We're not there yet. We are now closer than we've ever been. But we've been able to say that every day since Jesus left this planet. But we are really, really closer than we've ever been. Here at home, bigger government programs, more government tyranny, huge socialistic transfer payments have all been greatly welcomed by mainstream media and by a large portion of the U.S. population. You got something in the mail, didn't you? I got a credit card with money on it. Some people got checks. They've been handing out $600. Is it a week now or a month? I think it's a week since this thing began. We never thought the government would ever do anything less. They have spent $2 or $3 billion just since this thing started in giveaway programs. We're going slowly broke. At the same time, very few voices are warning us that these measures are eroding our fundamental rights. We have Democrats and others that are able to think, saying we can't keep doing this from a financial perspective. But nobody's saying this is eroding our fundamental rights. It's exploding the size of our national debt. It's putting us in extremely dangerous places for the future. Once people become accustomed to receiving money directly from the federal government, it's going to be very, very difficult to stop those payments. If you think back through our history, it's difficult to name a single major transfer payment program that has now been rolled back. In order to relieve the suffering of those that found themselves suddenly unemployed, Congress approved $600 a week unemployment bonuses as part of a $2.2 trillion CARES Act. That was in March. These $600 weekly payments from the federal pandemic unemployment compensation program were put in place as part of a $2.2 trillion CARES Act that Congress passed in late March and are in the process of getting together to do it again. If you're eligible for unemployment checks, you're getting that $600 extra every week. And the push is on to extend it. Republicans want it to be less money, but everyone agrees it needs to be done. Currently, Congress is talking about cutting it by either $200 or $400 a week. And there's another stimulus check on the way to your door. This is clearly socialism. And they want us to get used to it. Who is they? I don't know. I have a hard time believing that conservative Republicans, or anybody for that matter, are happy about this. But in Washington, they feel like they have to do it. I don't know what I would feel like if I were there. My heart would say yes. My head would say, crazy, man. You can't do this. Find another way. But all of this is going to prove to be very, very expensive. Not for me, maybe not for you, but for our grandchildren. You see, it's called socialism. And socialism always steals from one group to benefit another. We are now racing toward full-blown socialism at a pace that is absolutely breathtaking. And nearly all, or at least the majority, of our politicians have completely abandoned our founding principles. Why? Because of an emergency. That's how it works. I'm of the opinion that the enemy of our soul is quite capable of providing emergencies on a global scale. Just saying.